over streaming options on Wednesday, February 10th. I'm going to use a different website, basketball.realgm. I like this because it gives you the team stats breakdown. So if they're a good defensive team or not. They give you how many steals or blocks do they give out really, and on the and then on the player side, they give out all the percentages and all the stats across the board. So that's nice. So let's get into it. The first game is the Raptors versus the Wizards. Raptors got a couple injuries. OG is questionable, and Wizards Westbrook is gonna play. So let's look at the stats. Toronto is, as a team, you see 9.4 steals a game. So I think I understand Van Vliet as a pretty good steals guy, but I think 9.4, that's really, really high. I think it has something to do with their system. So if anybody is out, another guy comes in, they'll get also a lot of steals. 5.5 blocks here. Chris Boucher blocked a lot of shots. On the Washington, Westbrook historically has been close to two steals guy. This year only 0.8 because they play no defense. I think it's just hard. Like if everybody on your team is not trying as hard, you're just not gonna get that many defense. You're not gonna get that many deflections, right? A lot of the times, it's because one guy is playing good defense on the offensive player, so they get distracted. So you can go in and poke the ball loose. Washington, horrible defense, 7 steals, not good. 3.9 blocks as well, just no defense. And they on the Raptors, they give out 6.8 steals, while Wizards give out 7.7. They don't really get blocked that much, but Westbrook probably just donates a lot of ball, throw the ball away a lot, and give out a lot of steals. Let's look at who you want to stream. Raptors is Norman Powell. He's been shooting the ball really, really well. If he's still out there, he's the guy you want to stream. And after that, really not interesting anybody on the Raptors. Everybody's healthy with other than OG, but Norman Powell is eating up all those usage. On the Wizards side, again, all the usage of Bradley Beal and Westbrook consuming all the usage. So Davis Bertans is the guy I want to stream for points, and Alex Len is the guy I want to stream for some defensive stats. I just really hope Wizards can play some defense. I think as a team, a good defensive team generates steals for everybody. So that's good for fantasy owners. And that's it. Let's move on to the next game. The next game is between the Atlanta Hawks and the Mavericks. I know. I always know that Atlanta, they give a lot of defensive numbers to the other team. 8.3 assists. Give out Trae Young, also a pretty big turnover guy. Has the ball in his hands a lot. Like to make some dangerous passes. So 8.3. But Raptors as a team, you see the difference. As a team, Atlanta, again, a pretty bad defensive team. Actually their opponents only scoring 111. Not that bad, but it has to do something to do with the defense schemes, in my opinion. 6.5 steals versus Raptors 9.5. Although we're only 20 games in, but you can kind of see, a team, especially the steal numbers. It really has to do with the whole team. It's not just one guy can do it all. Not really. And Atlanta opponents also block a decent amount of shots. While Dallas, you got Doncic. He's gonna throw the ball away sometimes, but they don't get blocked as much. So on the Atlanta Hawks side, Kevin Huerter is the guy. The big news is what's his name? Hunter is gonna be out. Hunter is gonna be out for a long time. So Kevin Huerter may be a long-term pickup. He really has room to grow. He give you nice stats all around. Like 3.6 assists is not a lot, but it's nice. Any guy that can give you 4 assists is decent. You take it. 3.7 rebound. Okay, 1.2 steals. Yeah. Give it the minutes, he should produce. Gallinari, I'm not too interested in him now. But if you really, really need a free throw, if all your categories have been determined, it's only a free throw, I would pick him up. He's one of the only few guys can give you free throws in the entire waiver wire. Cam Reddish is another guy, but he's been shooting the ball really, really poorly. You only really want him for his steal numbers, and I think they have a back-to-back coming up, so you can stream him for steals. And Dallas Mavericks side, consider Atlanta Hawks like to donate a lot of steals, I would go for guys like Josh Richardson. Josh Richardson is the one. He's been getting the minutes. Been playing quite well. Dorian Finney-Smith, also a pretty good steals guy, averaging 1. Maybe he can pop off. He has the ability to just get 3 steals. Because those guys, their job is just getting those defensive stats. They play defense and, catch and shoot. Another guy is Maxi Kleber, a pretty good blocks guy historically. Maybe against Trae Young, he'll block a shot or 2. That's it on this game. Let's move on to the next game. Is the Indiana Pacers and the Brooklyn Nets. Well, Raptors as a team, they get 9.5. Indiana Pacers as a team, they get 8.5. I know Brogdon, that's one thing that really surprised me this year is Brogdon's steal numbers is so high. I think it has to do with the defensive scheme. Maybe he's not a 0.6 steals guy anymore. Maybe he's 1. I still think his steal number is going to fall off a little bit. While Brooklyn Nets, just like the Washington Wizards, as a team, they don't get any steals. Right? On defensive end, they're just very relaxed. And Harden, historically being a two steals guy, this year only 1.2. So I just hope they can focus on defense a bit more, so everybody gets more defense. But they get a same amount of blocks. While Brooklyn, Harden, have the ball in his hands. He throw out a lot of passes. So just like Westbrook, give the other team a lot of steals. And 4.2 blocks is not that high. So on the Pacers side, Justin Holiday, if Justin Holiday and TJ McConnell still out there, especially in category leagues, you want to pick them up and just roster them, right? They give you pretty nice stats, especially Justin Holiday, the steals, the threes, no turnover. TJ McConnell, the assists and steals. It's pretty clear what categories they're good at. And against Harden tonight, maybe they get 3 steals each. That is very possible. After those 2 guys, Jeremy Lamb also a pretty good guy, and it's a system, right? Everybody within the defensive scheme gonna get some steals. So Jeremy Lamb, same thing, 1 steal, 0.7 blocks, also is pretty nice. Although he only played 11 games this season, but he's a pretty efficient guy. Not really gonna turn the ball over. Good field, good from the field, and good from the free throw. And McDermott is another guy, and he really can. The system can't really save him. He still get 0.2 steals, but he can score the ball and shoot 52%. And on the net side, Harden is gonna donate, 1.2 steals. Sorry, Harden. He's rostered everywhere. What am I thinking? Joe Harris and the only 2 guys I'm interested in, Joe Harris and Jeff Green, but they had a rough game last game, and really they don't really have that one category that I'm excited. They give you all around nice stats, but I would rather go for a guy like Miles Bridges. But if Miles Bridges is not out there, probably Jeff Green and Joe Harris. Joe Harris can give you a lot of threes. And Bruce Brown had a 4 steal game last time. I don't think he's going to replicate that. So no one else I'm really interested. Everybody's fairly healthy. I understand KD is out. But nobody really going to come in and put up huge stats because Harden and Kyrie going to have the ball in their hands a lot. The next game is the Charlotte Hornets and the Grizzlies. Yeah, it's crazy. Grizzlies also. Everybody on this team gets steals. Right? Charlotte 8 steals is also nice. While Grizzlies also give out a lot of steals. I think it has to do maybe Ja Morant, high usage guys, throwing the ball away. While Charlotte 7.7, it's also okay. None of those teams give away too many. Actually, they give a lot of blocks. Grizzlies, they give out a lot of blocks. 6 is a bit high, I think. Let's look at who you want to stream. Devontae Graham is out still, but nobody's gonna really benefit that much because LaMelo Ball is gonna take all the minutes. And I just talked about Miles Bridges. If you need all around nice efficient stats, you can stream him against this Grizzlies team. And Malik Monk, he really popped off a week ago. I just don't think he can replicate that. Its probability is very, very low. He can pop off like he did. Cody Zeller should be rostered already. Those 8 blocks are really, really good. He should be rostered already. On the Grizzlies side, who do you want to stream out? So many guys, because we just don't know who's going to play more minutes. And a lot of guys on the team really give you what you want, right? Tyus Jones, he can give you steals, assists, and steals. If TJ McConnell is not out there, which he shouldn't be at this point, but if he's not out there, Tyus Jones is the next guy to give you the most steals and assists. Right? DeAnthony Melton is the guy who can give you all the steals and blocks. Obviously, he's out. He hurt his shoulder. It depends on what you need. If you need some scoring and even steals this year, you can go straight to Dylan Brooks, but he's probably the worst field goal guy in the NBA at the moment. Maybe Westbrook is worse, but it's close. 16 attempts, 38%, yeah, and also bad from the free throw line, and turned the ball over twice. Xavier Tillman, if Brandon Clark does miss the game, you can stream him because look at the steal and block numbers. Can give you one steal and one block, you take it, right? And efficient from the field, 53%. Only play 14 games. I know it's a small sample size, but you just kind of know those guys, what categories are they really good at. At this point in your matchup in category leagues, you probably know which categories I need to win, which categories I'm probably gonna lose. Let's go on to the next game. That's the Clippers and Timberwolves. Oh yeah, big news here is Karl Anthony Towns is back, so you can pretty much drop the Naz Reid, guys like that. Minnesota, surprisingly, as a team, they get a lot of steals, 8.5 so far this season. And this is what I'm talking about. The Clippers' opponent, they get no steals, 7 is low. They get no blocks, they get no points. They shoot the ball pretty badly as well. So you don't want to stream guys when they play against the Clippers or Lakers for that matter. On the Timberwolves side, on the Clippers side, a lot of guys want. Paul George is out, so Reggie Jackson for points and assists. And the guy I like is probably Zubac. He's not gonna play against Cat all that often, but even he does, Cat is horrible defensively. So Zubac might just have a great game. Great efficiency from both the field and free throw. Huge efficiency and good rebound and some blocks. 0.9 is not that much, but 1 is good enough. And other than them, like Luke Kennard, not interested. Just hit some threes. Reggie Jackson has way more upside, in my opinion. Lou Will also pretty washed at this point. On the Timberwolves side, with Karl Anthony Towns comes back, I don't know if D'Lo is gonna play. If D'Lo does play, it doesn't really matter. I would still want to stream Anthony Edwards for points only, but they are playing the Clippers. So just be careful. He might just have a really bad dot, go 2 for 13, give you 6 points. So if you don't care about the field goal, yes, you can stream him. He's not really giving you anything else, but he does have the defensive upside. He's pretty 6'5", really athletic, really long. Yeah, but with Cat coming back, Naz Reid is a drop in my opinion. So is Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt wasn't getting high minutes anyways. He had a good stretch and it's long gone now. Let's look at the next game: the Bulls versus the Pelicans. They are, on the Pelicans side, everybody is pretty healthy. I don't think anybody is hurt at the moment. And on the Bulls side, who's out? And Wendell Carter Jr., those guys are out. So Thaddeus Young is a must pick up. Oh yeah, let's look at the team stats, right? Yeah, no team actually get that many steals or blocks for that matter. But the Bulls, they give out a lot of steals. Again, they have a Zach LaVine, high turnover guy, right? He's like 4 turnovers, and interestingly, they don't get blocked as much, only 4 blocks. So on the Pelican side, if you want some steals, maybe Zach LaVine gonna give you a 2. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if you need some steals, he's been really strong this year, right? Just consistently give you 1 or 2 steals. Really good defender. I don't know, 0.4 blocks is also nice for a guard. So I look forward to streaming only for steals, nothing else really. Eric Bledsoe, be careful. He's bad, both percentages. No defensive stats. Really, if you're gonna stream him, really you only want his points and assists. Really, everything else is pretty negative. And I don't think at this point he's a must roster. Josh Hart, yes, for rebound. He popped off last game. You really only stream him for rebound, a little bit threes. Everything else is not that great. And Willie Hernan-Gomez also went off. I don't think he's gonna continue. So really, the only guy I want to stream is Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Josh Hart on this team. And on the Bulls side, in the short term, in the next month or so, maybe even more, Thaddeus Young should be a must roster. Really, really scary stuff. Thomas Satoransky, you can stream him for assist. And the Bulls rotation is all over the minutes, but really only a few guys worth streaming. I think Thomas Satoransky, you can stream him for assists and assists only. Maybe a little bit efficiency as a point guard. He's like 48, 49. So if you need most assist guys, they're probably gonna hurt your field goal, like a Tyus Jones, but he doesn't do that. Daniel Gafford also has the upside. In 15 minutes, blocking 1.2. The problem with him is he's not gonna play huge minutes. Ever, I think. If he plays 25 minutes, maybe he's just gonna commit 25 fouls, right? And the coach is not committed to playing him high minutes, even though he starts every game. Patrick Williams is another guy I almost forgot. Give you all around nice stats. He played really well last week, so you can stream him and see what happens. He give you the nice stats, defensive stats, and some rebounding. Let's move on to the next game, the Cleveland game. Oh my God, the Jokic just lead the team in every category pretty much. This game, Larry Nance Jr. Oh boy, these two teams they get so many stocks. I mean steals. Cleveland, that's the thing. Like a good defensive team, on average they should get more steals. And collectively as a unit, everybody gets more steals, right? That's why Colin Sexton and Darius Garland last year, when they, I don't think they were that good defensively. This year they all got those steals, so it has to do with the team being a good defensive team or not. That's one thing to think about. Averaging 8.8, and Denver surprisingly got averaging 8.3. Jokic's steal number has been pretty high up there. I think they probably cannot sustain. While Cleveland give the opponent 8.5 steals a game. That's also a lot. 6 blocks. So they're little two guards, and also Andre Drummond gets blocked a lot. So if you want blocks on Denver, I think maybe a Paul Millsap. Although this season he really hasn't been blocking shots, but maybe when they play the Cavs, you get a couple, 1 or 2, right? We don't know. Denver also 7.4 steals. Yeah, Jokic is the only guy, high usage guy. So he's gonna throw the ball away quite a bit. And both teams are somewhat good defensive team. Cleveland really stepped it up, 110. Denver 113. So who do I want to stream on the Cavaliers side? Yeah, Taurean Prince, Jerry Allen, and Andre Drummond. Let's see if they start again. Both start. Larry Nance Jr. is going to be out, so you can really drop him. His only category is really the steals and rebound. Efficiency wise, 48 is okay, but not that great. So it's really the steals. But first of all, the steals were never going to continue like this. So with Love, you can just drop him. Don't look back. Taurean Prince is another guy, can really give you steals and blocks and some threes. So that's a good combination. I'm not too high on him. But he's worth streaming if there's no better options out there. And on the Denver Nuggets side, Gary Harris is still out. So like I said, Paul Millsap hasn't really been blocking a lot of shots. 0.4. Maybe he does this game versus this Cavaliers team. Or maybe Will Barton, who also been playing quite well. So those are the only two guys I like on this team, and Monty Morris. Everybody else, but the Cavaliers are a pretty good defensive team. I don't really expect, I don't know, those guys to put up big stats against this team. The next team is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Milwaukee, they do have Jrue Holiday out. Yeah, look at Milwaukee. Great defensive team. 8.4 steals. Blocks is basically Brook Lopez, I think, and Giannis, although he hasn't been doing that much. On Phoenix side, that's the thing. I think Phoenix, they are a good defensive team, averaging opponents to 100. Maybe the pace is slow, 107 points. It's just really, really weird. Like Chris Paul and Mikal Bridges, they're both big steals guys, but only 6 steals a game. Yeah, I don't know. And they're shooting the ball 35%, while Milwaukee's shooting the ball really, really well. But you can see Phoenix does a really good job limiting. Phoenix, surprisingly, they've been so good defensive this season. Their perimeter defense, I think, thanks to Mikal Bridges, only 35% from 3, their opponents. Right? That's I think that's good enough. 45%. Let's look at who we really want to stream. Milwaukee side, Dante DiVincenzo is at this point probably a must pick up because Jrue Holiday is out. And if you can get the steals, that would be great. And Bobby Portis is another guy. Although Phoenix is a pretty good defensive team, Bobby Portis might not have his usual easy double-double, right? 10 points and 8-7 rebounds. Maybe he will struggle to get that. But he's been playing too well at the moment in limited time. So I will still try to stream him. Even though the minutes are really, really low, the upside is capped. But he's been producing in limited minutes. And the Phoenix side, with Chris Paul is questionable. And Etuan Moore is the guy maybe you want to take. He's a really efficient guard. I remember when he was on the Pelicans, he's pretty efficient, so you can take a fly on him. But not too interested because Devin Booker is just going to be the main point guard, getting those 7-8 assists instead of Chris Paul. Right? Nobody on the Suns that has that high upside. Cameron Johnson, not so much. He just hasn't been playing really well. And interesting to see as a whole team, they've been only averaging 6 steals. That's really low. This is the lowest I've seen so far. Hopefully, Mikal Bridges and Chris Paul can get more steals, but it's been interesting. And last game of the night is OKC and the Lakers. This game might just be a blowout. And, interesting, Lakers is a good defensive team, but their strength is really not getting the steals, it's the blocks, and they're inside. You see their, the percentage are both poor against the Lakers. So OKC, I think all those young guys, especially Shea is also out, gonna have a rough time playing the Lakers. Although they did play pretty well last game, the game went to overtime. That game because AD didn't play. AD is a big reason, right? He's almost like a defensive player of the year type in the paint. In terms of getting the steals from them, Lakers is sure. LeBron gonna throw the ball, and OKC got a lot of young guys. They probably donate, but they don't really block. Get blocked that often, right? Lakers is a really good blocks team, so maybe they get a couple blocks. Darius Bazley should be rostered at this point. He's playing really, really well. Maybe not in terms of fantasy because his percentages are poor and he's not getting the defensive stats. But in real life, he's scored like in double digits 6-7 games. And Hamidou Diallo, yes, you want him, right? His free throw is bad, but he give you the defense, he give you the points. Against the Lakers, there's some concerns, but I just don't think there aren't many high upside guys out there. He definitely has one of the highest upside for tonight because everybody is out. Because Shea is out, and Maladon is still out. Another guy that I like is Kendrick Williams. He can rack up those defensive stats, although he hasn't really been showing that this season. So he's probably the last guy I want to stream on this team. It's Darius Bazley and Diallo. On the Lakers side, not interesting anybody. Harrell and if they're out there, you can stream Harrell for field goal and field goal only, and you can stream Dennis Schroeder for some points and assists. But I think those guys, their weaknesses, they're like so many categories. They're really, really weak, and Harrell is basically one category. A little bit rebound as well, but mainly field goal. 0.7 blocks is nice, but it's not what you want to see. And free throw, he's bad, but the field goal is really, really big. 64% on 8 attempts. That's really, really big. While Schroeder, really, where's Dennis Schroeder? Yeah, here he is. Not a 0.9 steals is okay. Basically give you 14 points and 4 assists, which is hard to find on the wire, right? The assist is hard to find, but low efficiency, a lot of turnovers. Free throw line is okay. So if you need those two many points and assists, you can grab him. That's it. And that's it for all the games. See you guys later.